Welcome back to another episode of Ratchet Thoughts and Isms. I am Luke. No, I'm lying. I am not Luke the Harlem Skywalker. He is not here today, but I am Uptown Brown, Ratchet Poppy, Mr. Receipts, El Capitan, whatever you want to call me. I'm here. I am in the building.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ramona, First Lady.
I'm Jordan.
Jordan, so we got a special guest today. We got Jordan with us. Jordan, you want to tell the people briefly about you before we jump back into this conversation, which is going to be double standards between men and women, part 2.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
ATL Shawty.
I'm 25.
Young buck.
And I've been living in New York for 9 years. And I'm interested to see what these double standards are.
Okay.
All right, Jordan.
Where in New York you laying at?
I'm in Brooklyn. So
BK?
I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah. I'm between Flatbush and Crown Heights.
You ain't had to get all that. We don't want nobody stalking you.
Oh, it's a big area. They can try it if they want.
All right. So double standards between men and women, part 2. So the reason that we invited Jordan to be here, she is one of the amazing engineers here at WTF Media. Shout out to them. And you know, when we did part 1, she was our engineer and she was so engaged in the conversation that we was just like, we definitely knew that we needed to continue it and do a part 2. And she was gracious enough to volunteer herself to participate in what is going to be an amazing conversation. Yeah. So thank you. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for having me.
She was definitely invested. Listen, she was the one that discovered that, the legal age for pedophiles is 17 for these young dudes, nasty dudes who want to touch young girls. It's 17. You know?
Insanity.
That was the wrong way to say that.
Disclaimer.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're right.
Disclaimer.
Oh, so the views and opinions of Uptown Brown are solely the views and opinions of myself and do not reflect upon the lovely cast of Ratchet Thoughts and Isms or Jordan. Shout out to Luke the Harlem Skywalker and Hollywood Dre. They couldn't be here today, but, last time when we did part 1, it was 2 men and 1 woman. Now it's 2 women here. I can handle myself. I ain't worried about these ladies. We good. You know what I'm saying? So the first double standard I want to get on between men and women. So interracial dating, right? You know what I'm saying? When black men decide that they want to date white women, they get all the smoke. Listen, guns be blazing. You know what I'm saying? Listen, what's the dude? Jay Ellis from Insecure? He had to turn off his comments on his wedding day or from his wedding post just because he decided to marry a non-melanated woman. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? But you got, a beautiful chocolate sister like
Issa Rae?
No, not Issa Rae. What's the one from the Tyler Perry show? The Have and Have Nots. Tika Sumter. She is married to a white man. Mm-hmm. Everybody let her. No, the brothers, we cool. We let her rock. You know what I'm saying? No smoke. We not shooting no shots our way.
So I'll let you talk first, since you're our guest, about this.
I feel like I don't have a problem personally with interracial dating. I think my problem comes from the fact that if you're bashing black men or black women after you date outside of your race, I feel like that's the problem that I more so have, the interracial dating. I feel like Lawrence was a hurt piece because we had seen him do Black Love for years at that point. So I feel like people were definitely hurt. But I don't think they should have been commenting on his wedding day.
I mean, he had to turn the comments off on his IG. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I remember exactly when that happened too.
Yeah.
It was insane.
So probably not gonna like my comment, but I don't mind love, interracial, doesn't matter to me. What bothers me sometimes is why. They feel like black women are too aggressive and women that are not black, non-black women are less aggressive, and that's why we want to date them. For that reason, I'm like, I don't know if I like that. If you're going to love someone, but don't say it's because of this reason, because of black women. We're to this and we're to that. And the Hispanic women, they, cater to their men, and white women cater to their men. And we cater to our men, too. So just because you can find that right woman that caters to you doesn't mean you have to go to a whole nother race. But if that's not the case and you really love this woman, then I'm okay with it. I'm okay with love.
But half the
reasons,
half the time,
reasons behind why.
Listen, half the time, people don't even know the circumstances of a brother situation. But if there is a black celebrity who dates a white woman, he is going to get flamed. And they don't know his personal situation and circumstances. They don't know whether it's because black women treated him bad or maybe he just found somebody that he loves that is non-melanated, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's fine with
but
me.
either way, he on the social media, he gets dragged.
That's fine with me.
So do you think part of it is, I forgot what event it was, but it was essentially a lot of basketball players were coming out with their wives, right?
Right.
None of their wives looked like us. And I feel like there was a trend where, I don't know what it is, maybe
I
people
don't know.
are
Y'all
upset.
got a whole show about black basketball wives. It's called Basketball Wives.
Maybe people are upset at celebrities because after you get to like a certain status, you're like, maybe white women are more of a prize than black women. Do you think that's the reason why people could be upset? Because it's seen that way?
I mean, outside of Kanye, and listen, they whole family show Black the
God.
Brothers a lot of love. You know what I'm saying?
Why are we talking about that family?
But outside of Kanye, right? You know what I'm saying? I would be like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Oprah got Stedman, Hove got B. You know what I'm saying? You know, Nas married Khalees. I mean, there's a lot of brothers is out there that's working with the sisters.
Going back to what she said, do you think it has to do with colorism? A slight case of it? Because you're saying that, for me, I feel like the lighter, even back in the 80s, 90s, if you were light-skinned, you was pretty. If you was light-skinned, long hair, you was pretty. If you was a light-skinned guy, you was more handsome than dark-skinned dude. So does that go back to, like, I want something on my arm that looks like light-skinned and pretty? Like, is that what you value as pretty? To have a dark-skinned woman on your arm is like, oh, no, I'm a ball player. I'm making money. I want to me a chick that look like this, a chick that look like that.
LeBron's wife, he's
That's
the,
one
the
person.
richest basketball player
That's
there
one
is, though.
person.
He's the, but when we talk, she said about status, right? Ain't nobody basketball status richer
She
than.
came
you know
up with him. She was shooting with him in the gym.
D
So
Wade.
you can't even count her.
Look, he's with Gabrielle Union. I mean, I think
But
every
that's
man is.
expected.
So I think this leads us into, you know, our next double standard, right? We talk about preference. I think every person is allowed to have their preference no matter what it is, and it be okay, right? But when men state their preferences, like I am the guy that I would tell you that little booties matter to everybody but me. I don't care about that, right? You know what I'm saying? But the same woman who would be like, oh, that's not fact, little booties, you know, they don't matter, won't date a man that's 5'3".
That's
I feel like it's
you're not gonna get
It's-
blasted for that.
yeah, I was like, I
If you
don't
say
think it's that
if
big
I'm
of a deal.
celebrity and
Yeah.
I date someone who's short, they're not gonna blast me for it. Because look at Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson. Like,
But Jermaine got money.
yeah, but you saying height, that doesn't matter.
When's the last time you dated a brother 5'3"?
I dated someone shorter than me.
I
I'm
asked you
5'9".
when was the last time.
God has never placed a 5'3" man in my life. That's not my fault that God has not placed him in my path.
What about you, Jordan? When's the last time you dated a man that was 5'3"? Not never, probably.
When's the last time you dated a woman that was 6'2"? 6'3"?
I was 19. She was, yeah. I can tell you
That was a
when.
long time ago, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, it didn't work out, and then but I don't have listen, I'm not short, right? I'm 5'11", so I'm not gonna sit there and have a complex just because I date a woman that is 6 foot.
I don't care
Or
about
but- you know what I'm
dating a
saying?
man that's 5'3". The only thing with that is that they have Napoleon complexes, and sometimes.
But you can't say you can't put all of them into that
A lot
box.
of times, short men have Napoleon complexes, and they have this thing on their chest where they feel like they have to be aggressive and be like,
Could
"No,
you-
man,"
do you hear how-
but they're compensating for their height?
You said you decided to put all the short men in a box. If I, as a man,
Napoleon
decided to put all women in a box in any category,
Oh
you would
my
not allow
God,
it.
Are you for real right now?
Absolutely.
Please. Anyway.
All women are crazy.
Most
Take
men
that box.
who are 5'3" have Napoleon complex, and women too. Women have Napoleon complex too. Short women, they do. They do.
So you're saying Jordan's short?
Jordan's
You're
not
saying
short.
I am short.
Jordan's not short.
She's vertically challenged. I'm sorry.
She's not.
I don't mind being called
How tall
short.
are you?
I'm 5'1", so I'm short.
That's short. How tall are you, Giant?
Excuse me?
Excuse me, Amazon.
Excuse me?
How tall are you?
You're not talking to me.
Miss
Anywho.
Saunders, how tall are
Yes.
you?
Oh, I'm 5'9".
That's tall for a woman. That's above average height for a woman.
Okay.
So that would make you would be
I'm
what
not no
some
goddamn
could consider an Amazon.
No, I'm
Yes,
not.
you would
no,
be.
I'm not.
Yes.
No, I'm not no damn Amazon.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Anywho. No, I'm not.
Well, if not Amazon, then Stallion. How tall is Meg?
Meg is my height. She's
There you
5'10".
go.
She's 5'10".
Ramona the Stallion. There we go. New name. New name.
God.
New name alert. Mona the Stallion.
Anyway, back to what you were saying about double standards. Do you think it's harder on men when they date outside their race than women?
Are we going back to the race thing?
I'm just asking a question. Do you think that
How is harder
it's
for
more
men?
acceptable for a woman who is African American to date someone out her race and it be okay, opposed to if a man does it? Do you think it's harder on men?
Yes.
And you know why it's harder on men?
Why?
Because there's less men in the world than women. So they feel like our black man, we want them for ourselves.
Well, if y'all
But to
act
see
right,
another
then
one
we
outside
shoot
our
y'all.
race,
No.
it kinda
If
bothers
y'all
us a
act
little
right
bit.
too, don't put all the acting wrong on us.
If y'all act right, then brothers would be
No.
running out to the
so it's not a
mind.
preference, it's an act right thing now. Make up your mind. First you said it was a preference, now you're saying we don't act right.
I think it could be a combination of several things. That's what I think. I think it's not just, there's never going to be just one reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask somebody why they love you, they're not going to just tell you one reason. There's going to be multiple
But I
reasons.
just
I feel like there can be improvements on both sides when it comes to our community.
yeah. It's hard.
I'll take that.
Because
We're unlearning a lot as well. I feel like all of us are unlearning a lot of stuff.
What are we
when
unlearning?
it comes to how they treat each other. Like I feel like when I look at the past 3 generations of women in my family and the amount of shit that's changed from one generation to the next, it's crazy. So I feel like the way I go about relationships is going to be so much different than the women that raised me because the world's different.
Yep.
So I feel like how I view like the values that I can bring to a relationship is different than the values that my great grandmother could have brought because of a lot of things. So I feel like we're trying to unlearn like, I mean, even when it comes to gender roles, I feel like a lot of people are trying to maneuver, I guess, how they want gender roles to be in their relationship. Because like black women are getting a lot of degrees now. We've been breadwinners for a long time, but I feel like that's a new dynamic, right? And I feel like with that new dynamic means that we may need to be a little bit more honest about respect in a household because now it's not just you making money.
Right.
So you can't exactly hold a lot of things over my head, but at the same time, I still need to remember that there's things that you bring to our relationship that I'm not going to bring. So I still need to respect you as well.
That is a great perspective to hear from a person that is your age, because I think a lot of women that are probably in my age group still haven't figured that part out, right? Because they're stuck on how things used to be. Like, one of my pet peeves is to hear women talk about what happened in their grandfather's days, right? You know what I'm saying? It is a pet peeve of mine, right? Because only half the story is told, right? It's like, oh, my grandfather, he paid all the bills. He, you know what I'm saying? He did this, he did that. He also probably had a family across town that is not mentioned, right? It also, during that time, it was acceptable for a man to go upside his woman's head, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's not mentioned. We only talk about the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he was out there paying the bills.
It was acceptable, really?
Oh, you ain't see the old videos of Ike and James Brown talking? They talk? I can find them for you, send them to you. You know what I'm saying?
I know,
Like,
I'm not
it was
acceptable.
it was acceptable. Nobody ever challenged Joe Jackson. We knew he was out there beating them kids and beating his wife, allegedly.
I hear what Jordan is saying, and I respect what she says, you know. And everybody's different. Everyone in a relationship has different values that they stick to. Some things they might change for the person, but in the long run, I feel like a black woman understands a black man more than any other race.
I agree.
Facts.
You know, and
I
just feel
definitely
like,
agree.
Yes, you love her and she loves you, but she's never gonna stand a black man like a black woman does. And you know, I'm not taking away from her love and how she raise a household and how she take care of her man, because she could be a good wife to him. Like, but at the end of the day, I just feel like when he come home and a cop done stops him on the street and he got frisked and he want to come home to a black woman. I'm sorry, it's just
listen.
no disrespect to any other
The
race.
day if I ever decided to venture out and date a white woman, which would never happen, y'all, but you know, just for the sake of this conversation, right? And that N-word slip out,
right?
listen, that's the day the relationship is over.
Right.
There's no coming back from that. You know
And
what I'm
the
saying?
fact that you know that might happen is like,
Or even if I get stopped and frisked, right? Because Mr. 45, who's trying to come back in office, he said in one of his little gatherings that he's trying to bring back stop and frisk. If I get stopped and frisked and, you know, she was just like, well, babe, like maybe you just misunderstand it. Sometimes you just gotta comply and like, oh my God, it's gonna be all right.
Did you resist your first?
You should have just listened, comply.
Yeah,
Listen, F out of here. Like, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of gender roles and relationships, that is the next double standard that I wanted to get to. Gender roles and relationships. So I'm a believer that if you think that gender roles should be based upon how much money your partner brings to the table, you are going to fail at your relationship.
Okay, what do you mean by gender roles? Like, what do you mean?
I think that, like Jordan just stated a few minutes ago, right? Like, black women are financially and academically running circles around their male counterparts, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you are waiting to find the man who is going to surpass you financially and academically to find to be considered an acceptable mate for you, you could be waiting a very long time.
Okay.
Now, some people might be okay with waiting because they feel like they got time on their side,
Okay.
right? You know what I'm saying? But I think that how much respect you show a man should not be based on how much money is in his bank account.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Because for me, money doesn't mean a lot to me. It just means that for me, I just want to be comfortable where the bills are paid. We can go on vacation. There's food in the house. If I want to buy something nice, I want to buy a new couch, I could buy it. If I want to buy a new TV, I could buy it. But like, that's not the all in all for me. That's not the first thing I look for in a man is their pockets. Like, yes, I want you to be established. Yes, I want you to be able to hold your own. But you don't have to be balling and banking and come out your pockets every 5 minutes for me. Like, I don't need that. I have my own money. Like, I need for you to feed into me. You know what I'm saying? Fill my cup. I don't need you to always come out your pockets. That's nothing to me. So the role, I don't know. I think it's subjective to who the person is. Because some women, they are about money. Like, they just like, if a man ain't got 6-7 figures, I ain't even talking to him. You know, and they're like, okay, boo, relax. You know, but
I hear what you're saying, right? I need y'all to do something for me right now. I need y'all to finish the sentence. Broke niggas don't deserve no kitty. Finish the sentence.
that is not right.
That is not. I like how you spit that. I like how you spit that. That is
That is not right.
That is. I like that.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a difference between being broke.
There is.
Being broke and just like, you know, maintaining life and having a good job and just being okay. Like, nobody wants no broke nothing. I'm sorry. Man, woman,
Exactly.
I agree.
young, old. Nobody wants nobody who's broke.
That is not right.
That is not right.
Yo,
But,
that's it. It's all about tone, man. That's
broke,
it.
I think, and if you're broke, if I meet you and you're like, yo, you know, I'm hard on cash right now, but I'm in school, about to get my degree. I got this job lined up. I'm like, okay, all right. You trying. You just not like, oh, I'm at my mom's house. I paid the cable bill, but she paid the rent. Like, that to me is like, you're not independent enough for me.
Yeah.
It's not about being broke. You're not independent as a man. What can you do for me as a man?
Go ahead, continue.
No.
Continue. Spit it
I'm
out.
just saying, like, I don't want to have to wait for you to get to where I'm already at.
Yeah.
You know, like, you could be a great guy, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to wait for you to get to where I need you to be.
See,
That's a lot of investment.
that's one of the double standards. I've said it several times before. Like, a man who is getting money doesn't necessarily need the woman that he is dating to come to the table with the same amount of
should.
money or
I was
education.
gonna say maybe he needs to have higher standards
He
then.
should.
Well,
He should.
he doesn't, right? Because for a lot of women, the standard is they want a dude who could take care of them anyway. So they feel like because they want a man to take care of them anyway, they feel like it is acceptable for them to potentially come with less, right? But because a woman is like, in her mind, she's just like, oh, I don't want to have to take care of no dude. If he is not coming with equal or more, she does not even look at him as a potential. Like, it's just like, why are you wasting your time over here, brother?
I feel like, but I understand women that feel that way when it comes to equally, because like in my mind, I'm just like, you can't match what I'm putting on the table. Like, I just feel like.
So here's the crazy thing, right? I hope this doesn't happen to people, right? But what I will say for a lot of these women, maybe not the ones who are entrepreneurs, and even if you're an entrepreneur, right, you can have a bad year and then next thing you know, your money's looking different. But for half these women that's out there, you know what I'm saying, with these degrees of getting this money, just know in 5 to 10 years, your job is dead due to AI. Your job is probably gonna be dead,
Depends on what job
right?
you have.
Then you gonna run back to that bus driver. You gonna run back to that construction worker. You gonna run back to that sanitation dude because those jobs ain't going nowhere. You're not gonna have no robots picking up garbage in these New York's rat-infested streets. You know what I'm saying? We a long time from self-driving buses. We got the self-driving cars. We a long time from self-driving buses, right? But if you work in certain fields, your job is going to be replaceable due to AI.
It's true.
So you might be making $150K a year now doing your job, and then they figure out an algorithm that can replace you. You know what I'm saying? Or tell you know what, we could keep you on, but we're gonna have to give you $65K. You know what I'm saying? Or we could keep you on as an admin over here because we really like you, but your position is no longer needed. Then what you gonna do?
That's not your fault.
I was about to say, yeah, and also if she was smart enough to get that job, you don't think she's smart enough to pivot?
Yeah, she just I knows.
I've had to pivot jobs.
Most people are not really going to be prepared for the pivot that AI is going to throw at them within the next 10 years. I promise you that.
I also feel like with the money situation, I believe that that's the root of all arguments in relationships. Like, people might say they're okay with it at first, but like at the end of the day, the divorce rate is over money. Like the top three.
The root of toxic masculinity is money.
The top three reasons for divorce is financial reasons. So it's like, if I'm telling you this is what I want, and you're like, oh, girls are not willing to come and meet a dude halfway, but then when I meet you halfway, I'm not happy. We never gonna be happy in this relationship until I get what I wanted to begin with. I settled, I compromised, and you still in the same place 3 years later. I wasted 3 years. I compromised, and you got comfortable with me doing everything. You got comfortable with me coming home with the check. You got comfortable with just being there for me. I cleaned up for you. I washed the dishes. I brought some food for the house. You get complacent now because that's how we started. So you're not even trying to go for a job. You're like, why should I? My girl taking care of me. I'm home chilling. We good. She taking me everywhere I want to go. I got a car. Like, everything is good. Why would I want to change it? Like, why would I want to go get a job? For what? She give me allowance. She give me money every week. Like,
who are these dudes? Dudes out here getting allowance from women? Who are these dudes? Where are these men? I don't know none of these dudes.
Listen.
You know them personally?
Women are so happy just to have someone in their house, in their bed, that they'll do whatever.
Who are these dudes that's getting allowance from their women?
I know someone who gets allowances.
Who?
I'm not going to tell you who on camera.
Say it in pig Latin.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Oh, but it happens. Like, you can't be mad at him for the life he chose to live. If he's content with this woman doing it and she's content in doing it, you can't get mad at him. Why would you want to work hard if you don't have to?
I mean, here's the other thing, right? So let's say this is true. I don't know if it's true, but I'm gonna take your word for it.
I'm lying. Okay.
No. I'm gonna take. I said I'm gonna take your word for it, right? I think that if that is the dynamic that works for, because every
relationship,
gender role should be based upon what works for your relationship and your house, not based on what society tells you that they should be. So if that's what works for their house, then if you like it, I love it.
Yeah, she's happy doing it, and he's happy receiving it. It works.
It works. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna switch up a little bit. This one might be a little heavy. The gender roles surrounded around domestic violence.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Because there are some people that will say that men can't get raped by women. They will laugh it off. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And make it seem like, dude, you admit how she raped you. I mean, there are dudes who I have been laughed out of a precinct because I'm a big black man with a beard, and they was just like, come on, son, she ain't hit you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think, but I've also remember telling a story to some of my own friends, right? And the energy was just like, I was just like, yo, shorty, you know what I'm saying, hit me, she did, whatever, right? And the response was just like, well, what you do?
Yeah.
Right? But if it was the other way around, if I put my hands on a woman, everybody would universally see how wrong it is. Absolutely. Nobody would ask me, well, what'd she do to make you punch in her face? Like, nobody would ever ask me that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's part of the things that we're trying to unlearn. Like, I feel like there's a lot of men that didn't even realize when they were 9, 10, 11 that shit wasn't cool, that, like, this woman took advantage of you and she betrayed your trust, she betrayed your body and all these things. But I feel like that's something that a lot of black men in particular are doing their best to unlearn, because it's just like, I feel like in spaces where a lot of black men are uncomfortable and things like that, like they don't even want to bring it to the table because it's like y'all don't really have a lot of spaces to be like, I'm not okay. I felt unsafe.
Right.
I felt taken advantage of.
Right.
And all these things, because it's like even as like little boys, like you're not really seen as boys, you're seen as men.
Well, I mean, it's different, right? Because when you're black, male or female, I think we are sexualized at a very young age.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Young black women are sexualized far too young before they should even be
Thinking.
understanding what sex is or sexual activity is. And the same thing with young black. Like we are, just as a culture, we are hypersexualized.
So I feel right now, as parents, grandparents, guardians, we need to teach our young men that, listen, if somebody touch you, you speak about it. Speak up. It's not okay just to keep quiet. Like, no one's going to look at you differently. It's your body. The same way we tell women and little girls, hey, it's your body. Don't let nobody touch this part or this part. You need to teach our boys because it's happening. It's happening more now than it ever was. Or it's being told now. I don't know if it was happening before. It's just not being broadcast, but now it's like you see the teachers molesting the little boys in school,
Bus drivers.
getting pregnant by these little
I think
kids.
it's always been happening. Listen, if you were actually to look at the records to see how much money the Catholic Church has spent to cover up their
gosh. Woo.
indiscretions,
That's a whole
it's
nother-
always been
that's a whole nother
happening,
discussion.
right? You know what I'm saying? But it's just that, you know what I'm saying? Now with the internet and social media, people are telling their stories, and it's
real
easier to
time.
track.
Yeah.
It's easier to track in real time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But we really need to teach our little boys this too, because not for nothing, like a lot of these children are dating other genders at a younger age. And it's okay, that's fine. But even with that, you still need to teach them. Like if they don't want you to touch them, you say no, period.
Yeah.
But it's happening. It's happening too frequently, and it needs to be discussed more.
Yeah.
You know, so
Maybe having people that they trust, family, teachers, like someone close, someone at church. And I feel like that also makes it more difficult for them to say something because it's like there's so much conflict.
I mean, but the reason it's also harder to say something is because more often than not, it's the person that has the authority
Yeah.
that is the one that is misusing their power
Yeah.
to take advantage of a younger person, and especially if this person has a position of authority, right? And you see that they are well beloved around their peers,
Yeah.
it makes it that much harder to speak up and share your truth, because you're like,
You wanna
everybody
talk.
loves her.
Exactly. Who's gonna believe me?
Everybody loves this person, so I don't want to make any waves, because who may really believe me when everybody loves this person, whether it's a man or a woman. Everybody loves this person, so it's just like,
it's gonna be harder for them to believe. Oh no, are you sure? But I feel like only because I've been around this before. A lot of people who are molesters, they put up this saint like godly like personality, like they're the greatest like when you do things to people and you're a victim and you tell your story, the person who's victimizing you always looks godly, and like they make themselves look so pure to everybody else. So when you tell your story, because I've been there, when you tell your story, they're like, he would never. Oh, he's such a great young guy. Like he would never put his hands on you. He would never do that. What did you do? What happened with you? Because around everybody's high.
or they convince you maybe you misunderstood something.
Exactly.
Yes,
Nah,
maybe it
bitch.
was you, because every time I see him, he's always smiling. He's always friendly. Yeah, that's the game. That's the face they put on to show the world that they're great people, and they're really not.
Facts.
And that's what they do all the time. So when you do act like you want to be brave enough to tell, no one believes you. Nobody believes you.
It's sick.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but it happens. And
All right, we're gonna lighten the mood. So if I say I don't like big girls, am I body shaming?
no,
I think
Or
it's
is
a
that my
preference.
preference?
it's your preference.
I think it's a preference.
It's your preference.
Or is it wrong because I said big girls? I should use another word.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you didn't say fat or obese or something. Like, I mean, even though obese is kind of a medical term.
Yeah, that's a medical term. I feel like that's clean. Like,
Yeah.
yo, shorty, you're obese. I ain't say you was obese, but you beastly. but
I'm sorry.
shorty, you a little obese.
Stupid.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not really fucking with your BMI.
So we're talking about body double standards when it comes to
Yeah.
I think that's a preference.
body?
I think that's a preference.
So, but it's okay for a dude to say he don't like big girls.
As long as he's not disrespectful with the delivery, I don't think
But
it's a problem.
somebody might think just that in itself, just saying that, is disrespectful.
I think that's kind of ridiculous. Like, I feel like I don't.
Says Miss Petite over there.
I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Monique used to drag you back in the day. She'd be like, fuck you skinny bitches. You know what I'm saying?
I still look good though, so I still look good. I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's plenty of men that love big women. Like, I don't think that, like, if one guy says, well, you know, like, I don't like dating short girls, I'm gonna be like, well, I'm still fine. Like, I don't really think I don't think someone else's preference should make you feel insecure.
I mean, I think when you are on the rejection side of someone's preference, it's not going to feel good. But I think that we all should just kind of understand that every person has the right to like whatever they want to like or not like whatever they choose not to like without having a negative label attached to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be told because I like a woman with a small waist and big hips and a fat butt that I am shallow. I should just be, that's what I like.
Can I just say something? You are 100% right. Your preference should be your preference. No one should judge you for it or shame you for it. It's your preference. But when it comes to like the word fat and obese, I feel like those words were used as bullying tactics to a lot of big girls. Like,
but obese is a medical term.
It is, but just regardless of what it stands for, like a lot of times people didn't get teased for being skinny. People got teased for being fat. Like people would get bullied at school, thrown in garbage, pushed on the floor because they was fat, and that can make you want to kill yourself. That can make you want to go home and pop pills because now you feel like you're nothing. So when it comes to like the word big girls, it's not because people are like, oh, you shouldn't say it. It's just because it's because that one thing, big girls, has been such a huge bullying tactic. More than anything else, more than small waist, more than skinny.
I mean, but it's the same thing. Listen, somebody be like, oh, I don't like fat boys. Listen, I'm fat. I'm a fat boy over here.
It's
like,
different. That's a double standard when it comes to guys being fat and girls being fat. Because I'm telling you, it's a double standard when it comes to that. Okay? Because big guys be having pretty girls.
But why they got them though?
Because you gotta have handsome big guys. There's handsome big guys, okay?
There's handsome big girls too.
There's not handsome, they pretty.
Oh yeah, same thing, you know.
That's what I'm talking about. See? That's what I'm talking about. There's some handsome big dudes, so don't say that. But like we don't feel so offended when you call a guy fat than when you call a girl fat. It's different. Especially with surgery being done. Everybody want to have a small waist, and it's like you want to be this person, and then you look at yourself like, I don't look like these girls. I'm a big girl. No one's gonna want me. I don't have a small waist. I don't have, it's a lot on a woman. It's a lot. To be a woman is not easy.
I mean, listen, I don't know. I think back in the days, if you put Biggie and Tupac in the same room, Tupac is walking out with all the girls. I don't think Biggie is.
Biggie used to get girls now. Look, I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Because he's a big dude and he's not ugly. I mean, he's not cute. So
fat and black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks.
I guess he had money and he had something between.
But we know Tupac was leaving out there with all them bros.
Tupac was handsome. He's short though. But
you shaming?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
Tupac can't be short. Thug life.
No, I'm not saying that. But do you feel like women have more of a hard time when it comes to their body than men? Because men are physical.
Men are physical.
So when they see a woman, they're gonna look at her from top to bottom. Her body, her face, her physique, her butt, her breasts.
True. But I mean, see, the thing about it is, right? So a dude who is not in shape, unattractive, can still get a girl if he got money.
So that doesn't apply to women? To big girls?
Still less likely, because some dudes,
really,
because dudes don't really care about how much money a woman has.
Really?
We don't care about that. So a man would probably much rather have an aesthetically pleasing woman on his arm.
Wow.
Than a woman who, depending on how much money we talking, right? If we talking Oprah money, then I gotta, you know what I'm saying? But what he really want is Rihanna, right? A billionaire who look like
There's some curvy big girls out there.
Yeah.
There's some nice shaped curvy big girls that's pretty out there.
See, the problem is, right, when we use the word BBW, right? You know what You know what I'm saying? Like, it is very misused, right? Because when most dudes say they like BBWs, what they're really saying is, I want a woman who look like Takara. You remember Takara from Top Model?
Yes, I do.
They not really saying they want Lizzo.
Curves. They want
They not
curves.
really
Yeah.
saying they want Lizzo. They saying they want Takara.
They want a
You know what I'm
curve.
saying? No disrespect to Lizzo. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's what they're really saying, right? You know what I'm saying? And people use this blank term BBW like they're all the same. They are not all the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So they have to have curves.
Absolutely. You're damn right.
I feel like men get away with a lot more physically.
Yes, they sure
We,
do.
what
I
are
think
we
y'all do.
getting away with?
Do.
I feel like if you go to the beach right now, I feel like men are going to be a hell of a lot more comfortable walking out with the gut rather than a woman.
Absolutely.
I
Every
feel like
time
she's
Fat Joe
gonna
was on the
be-
internet with his shirt off,
He is.
the comments be ringing off. They be dragging him.
Man,
Yeah.
Oh,
They do.
I feel like
not like Lizzo.
I don't know. I feel like people are going to clown a woman that's bigger a lot more than they are
What?
a man.
Not like Lizzo. They talk about all the time.
They do.
I don't know. I don't be looking at that.
They talk about all the time. Why she got that on? Why she's like, so what?
And they be like, yo, Joe, you need to put your shirt back on and put on a bra.
And he don't care.
He don't care. None of them care. I think it's great that they don't care because they don't have to care. They got
The thing
money.
is, live your life. If you want to take
Yeah.
your shirt off and you have a gut, take it off. Like, if you don't like the way I look, don't look at me. But live your life. Do what makes you happy.
Okay.
If I'm a big girl, I'll be a
Double
big girl.
standards in the workplace. You and a man applying for the same job, but he gets $5K more than you. You feeling some type of way?
Of course. It's my money.
Of course. Are we both equally qualified?
Sure.
Yeah. It's an absolute problem.
So do you think it should vary depending on the job?
No, I think that
I
if you're a
do.
qualified candidate,
I definitely think it should vary depending on the job.
why? Explain.
I work in construction.
know why.
I work in construction. I know I'm physically stronger than you. So if we got to be on a job site and there's something that requires manual labor and I know that I'm stronger than you, I personally don't feel like you should be making the same money that even if you got the same years of experience and all that, like physically I could do more than you. So if I got to pull extra weight because you physically can't do it, why are you making the same money as me?
That's everything.
But I feel like there's women in the world that will have the same. I may not personally, but I feel like there's women on this earth that.
Well, the woman that can,
match
sure.
you.
The woman that can match me, sure.
So
but the
essentially,
woman that
you have
can't,
the same credentials. Then, if she can lift the same weight that you can lift, then y'all have the same credentials.
but it's the whole job doesn't require just lifting stuff, right? It's also about what you, because I do electrical work, so it's like technically what if her technical experiences matches mine's, but physically she is not as strong as me, I still gonna think I should make more
I don't
money.
agree with you.
I don't either.
I don't agree with
I don't
you.
either.
understand.
You know why?
Because-
You know-
Because you're not gonna be the one that
No,
got to
but
work
you know
harder
why?
on the job.
No.
I got to work harder on the job to compensate for the fact that this little person can't do what I do.
You know why I don't agree with you? Because it might be something else that she's better at than you are, not in the sense of like strength, that she has to pick up your slack. So it evens out. So you can't just say this one thing is, oh, I should get paid more. She might be doing something that you're not.
You know what she might be able to
Besides
do
the
that I can't
physical.
do? Crawl into a small space.
Well, she's doing that. You can't.
But what if she don't want to do it because it's dirty?
Oh, come on now.
She's not gonna be doing a construction job and being afraid of being
dirty.
dirty.
You're reaching right
I'm
now.
hold on, I'm really not reaching, right? Let me tell you
are.
something. In my 10 years working in construction, I could count on one hand how many times I've been on a job site and seen more than 5 women. Because
That's
women
not-
don't want to
that's
work
not-
in construction.
Yeah, that's not a woman's job because it's more.
It's not it's not a woman's
because it's
job.
more labor. It's more physical labor. Yeah.
So it's not. So there's men's jobs and there's women's jobs now.
I feel like there's a job that's catered more to women than men. For instance, nursing. In the nursing field, there are more female nurses than there are male nurses.
I think that women want to get paid the same amount of men on jobs that require them not to get dirty.
I don't think it's insane for a woman wanting to get paid the same salary as her male counterpart.
I don't either, but hear what I'm saying. I think women want to make the same amount of money as a man as long as it's a job that requires her not to get dirty or do manual labor.
But you know what though, Rod? When she got hired for the same job as you, that wasn't part of her job description. You have to be able to pick up 25 pounds in order to get this job.
It might be. It might
she
be.
got the job.
It might be part of the
but
job
she got
description.
the job though.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that you feel like you do more than she does physically, she got the job. 'Cause
Okay.
that wasn't part of her job description. To be
She
able to
could have
pick
got it
up
at a low. I
50
think she should.
pounds.
I think she should get the job. I think she should just get it at a lower pay rate.
No.
If y'all have the, and I'm saying like the exact same credentials,
Right.
you both can lift the same, do whatever the same.
Then I think she should get paid what I get paid.
Yeah.
But if she physically cannot, I don't think she should, because that means I am going. Either the job is going to take longer to get done because now we got to move slower because we can't get the same amount of work done, or I got to do extra work to compensate for the fact that she can't physically do what I do. So yes, I do feel like I should get more.
But you don't have to say so to make that happen. You can't just.
I know. I'm just telling my
Your
opinion.
boss has to make that judgment.
I'd be like, yo, listen,
another
she don't
thing is-
need that.
Some jobs, especially like in the corporate world, they feel like men are more bosses. They're more respected than women. They're heard more than women are, especially like in a boardroom when they sit down and have conferences and meetings. They feel like women are not going to get the same point across as men would, at the same position. So a lot of times, especially in management, administration, supervisors, managers, you'll see that there's a lot of men across the board.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you contradict yourself. We just had earlier in this conversation, we just was talking about how women are getting all of this money in the boardroom. So clearly, you know what I'm saying? If y'all getting all of this money, that means there is a lack of men in these spaces.
But that's happening now. Like that's not across the board. That's slowly trickling down.
Yeah.
That's not something
It's
that's
been
like-
listen.
it's not a
At
mag-
least for
it's
the
not a-
for the last decade, maybe not the last decade, but at least the last decade, women have been excelling.
We're getting degrees, but that don't mean
Yeah.
we're getting into position with these degrees. We still got to push out.
Oh, y'all getting degrees and y'all getting the money.
Yeah, but not like men.
And
And
then-
before.
Y'all getting the degrees
Not
and
as
y'all
much
getting the
as- Not
money.
as much as them. Not as much as them.
Who's the them?
the men that have the same position as we do, same degree
But
as
again,
we do.
5K more because they a
You're
man.
getting 5K more, regardless. Like it's not what you think it is.
If that's what the case, so why are there so many women talk about this dudes out here not getting money?
There are the people that's getting money. They white.
Oh.
Listen.
They not black men. They white.
Oh.
They white.
And then I feel like
so
also
the brothers
the,
is not getting the money.
Not like them.
yeah.
Not like them.
So them is code for non-melanated. Got
Right.
it. Got it. All right.
How do you think they stay rich?
And also, I feel like in the workplace, I feel like women aren't given as much grace when it comes to even like if part of your job is like pitching and negotiating, and let's say you piss off a client because he was feeling some type of way that you were assertive with him. I feel like if that got brought to your boss or HR, I feel like they're going to be more lenient with the man because like, well, he's just passionate. He was trying to get something across.
Yeah.
Versus the woman, it's like maybe you're a little bit too emotional
Well,
for this
Yeah.
job.
For a man,
maybe something's going back
for,
home.
for a
Maybe you're
man,
not
they're
at
gonna say he
capacity.
was assertive. For a woman, they're gonna say she was
Aggressive.
bitchy,
Emotional.
Yeah, emotional. That's
saying?
exactly emotional.
emotional.
True. That's why they don't want women.
Yeah.
in the-
And the amount of
position.
times that I feel like, because in the spaces that I work in, where I'm a video editor and I'm engineering, a lot of the events that I go to, whether it's town halls, networking events, I will be the only woman. I will be the only black person, and I will most definitely be the only person that's under 30 at these events. So I have to work a lot harder to prove that I know what I'm doing,
Right. 'Cause everybody's
and all
judging
these
you.
things to people that don't do my job, that cannot do my job.
Right.
Like even at the studio, there's been men that are like, "What kind of microphone is this?" They don't know what fucking microphone it is. They want to see if I know how to do my job.
Crazy.
They want to mansplain something to me
That's right.
because I'm a woman, and I need help, and I need someone to hold my hand to do
the
my
stress.
job,
Damn so
and all of these things.
I apologize if I ever mansplained to you, Jordan.
You haven't. But I feel like that's something that I feel like women we're more prone to like not get grace when it comes to conflict. I feel like we're questioned a lot more on our competence
Absolutely.
and whether or not we can handle certain levels of stress, whether we can handle certain environments that have big players and all these things.
So I'm gonna challenge that, right? So, do you think that has to do with like whether you can handle the challenges and the stress because women have often historically used their natural menstrual cycles as crutches in certain situations.
I've never brought up my menstrual cycle at a work.
I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying
don't
women
know none of my friends
overall.
have either.
You know what I'm saying? That has often.
It's not professional.
I was about to say I've not worked in a workplace where a woman's like, "Oh, I'm slacking off this week because I'm on my
It's
period."
not professional at all.
So you as a woman, or you've never seen a woman leave work early because that particular day her cramps was just extra bad.
No.
I've seen it.
I haven't seen it, but also okay.
You've never, so
let's-
you've never heard that's so I'm really stretching. You telling me I'm stretching that and I'm dragging it? That's never happened.
Not in my life.
it's happened in school. I haven't had it happen in a
Workplace.
workplace. It's happened as a high schooler, as a teenager.
Okay.
I haven't seen another woman do that. Now there have been women at work that have been in extreme pain, but they're still at work and they clock out when they're supposed to clock out.
Or they take medicine while they're there.
Yeah.
A little 15-minute break just to get themselves together and they come back.
But I think that in general, like if a man who is less evolved has had that sort of experience where he's seen several women do that throughout his lifetime, right? He may develop this picture in his mind that he feels like she can't handle what I can handle because
That is such a contradiction.
it's not. I think
It's a contradiction because when I'm on my period, I am cramping, I am irritable, I'm upset, and still I deliver on my deadline. Still I'm being patient. Still I'm not giving.
Are you nice?
Yes, I am. Now, if someone pisses me off, I may have to take a couple of deep breaths to calm myself a little bit more. But my coworkers will never know.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret. This is something that I know was invented by black women.
Lord.
Right? Don't say, "Oh Lord." There's this term called nice nasty. Women do it when they send emails to each other at work. Women do it. See, you don't.
It's not just women that do it.
It isn't.
I said it was invented by women.
not just-
Nice nasty. You see old church ladies do it in the church. You know what I'm saying? The ushers and all, like that is something that I think was created by specifically black women too. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I feel
nice
like-
nasty. How y'all can be nice to a person and nasty all in the same. Y'all, it's an art form. It's so beautiful. Like when done.
White women have an art
It's,
form.
it's work language. It's work language. You really can't say what you really want to say at work.
I say what I want to say at work.
Well, because you work where you work.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Oh yeah, I cuss some motherfuckers out and then get right back to
can't
work.
do that. I can't
You're
do
on
that.
sites. You're not micromanaged. Someone's not over you all day telling you how to do things and what to do. You know, it's different. But at work, you damn sure you got to be nasty nice because sometimes they come out their face a little bit. You got to let them know in a nice professional way.
Yeah, this is a boundary. Cross it if
Yes.
you want to.
Especially not for nothing. And even when it comes to like double standards of like color, because there's double standards when it comes to color as well, not just gender in the workplace.
There absolutely
So
is.
sometimes they feel like because you're not of a certain race that you can't do the job as efficient, or you're just not as smart as your white counterpart because you don't because you have melanin. Like that doesn't make me dumb because I'm not a black girl. And I've noticed that in the workplace, a double standard, the same job, and they'll just she doesn't know what she's doing. Did you ask me if I knew what I was
Exactly.
doing? Did you? When did you come to that conclusion? Oh, because I'm a black girl, so we're not supposed to know. Oh, okay. You know, that happens. That happens at my job all the time. Double standard. You know, so.
I mean, you know, like I said, I know nice nasty is a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's rough out here. You know what I'm saying? Because
hard.
when it's done right, it's so eloquent. But you know,
It's an
You
art
know,
to it. It's
you
an
know,
art.
yeah, you gonna know. You
it's an
gonna
art
know.
form.
It's an art
It's an art
form.
form. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I didn't always work in construction. I used to, you know, work in a more professional setting, and I know that is a real live thing. You read an email, you be like, "Yo, she was really."
She just throws you off.
Exactly.
Listen, before Chat GPT, she was on point with her words.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You know.
You have to though. Mm-hmm. You have to.
People will try you.
And they use work as like their bodyguard. 'Cause me at work, I can say whatever I and do whatever I want.
It's like, oh, I'm stressed at work. Get out of my face.
Right.
So we getting ready to button this thing up. Any last thoughts you want to give us on double standards between men and women? Because I am a gentleman. Is that the right thing to let the ladies go first? No?
Whatever you want to do.
All right, ladies, go ahead. Go for it.
I'll let Jordan go.
I feel like there's two double standards that I actually really enjoy. One, which I don't know if I would say it's a double, I mean, I guess it is double standard. I feel like I do appreciate when a man opens doors for me And I do appreciate when he walks on the side of the street. There's traffic. I know a lot of men would say that's a double standard. I feel like that's being a gentleman.
I think being a gentleman is still, and chivalry, I think, still exists. I think it's less of it. But I also think that, you know, because there seems to be a slight lack of appreciation for it, men tend to do it less when you should just do it because you want to do it. You shouldn't do it because, like, if I hold a door open for a woman or anybody, I expect to thank you. But if you don't, like, it is what it is.
You should say thank you.
Common courtesy.
Yeah, because I be holding doors, people, and they don't say thank you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I might trip you while you walk by.
Like, just rude. Exactly.
Are we doing final thoughts right now?
Yeah, final thoughts.
I think double standards is necessary. Like I said in the first episode, it's necessary because we all can't be on the same path because it's not going to work. It has to be some kind of off balance, yin yang kind of situation where, yeah, this is your role, this is my role. I don't cross that line, you don't cross that line, and it works for us. And I feel like sometimes men and women want to play masculine, the men want to play feminine, and it's like, that's not your role. Stay in your role because it works that way. We were made up. We were made up for a certain kind of structure, and I think we should stick to that. And a lot of times, don't bash me when I say this, but sometimes I just feel like men are jealous at the way that women are treated. I feel like they are jealous that we get our doors open. They are jealous that we get taken out. They kind of like envy us as women, like, oh my God, but God, I want that too. And I think you guys are a little jealous of it, and that's why the standards are kind of turning a little bit because y'all like, I want to be pampered too. I want this too. And that's cool and everything, but like, let me do it in my way. Don't make me feel like you're forcing me to be this person. Like, let me, if you feel like I want to pay for a massage for you or get your foot rubbed that night or rub your back, let me do that because I want to do that because you had a long day and you were stressed, you stressed out, but not feeling like I have to do it. When you going to take me out? When are you going to buy me something? I want my flowers too. Like, dude, no.
So I'm going to respond to that in my final thought. So I don't believe that men are jealous of the way women are treated. I think men want reciprocation. Reciprocation should be a love language, right?
Does it have to be identical to?
It doesn't have to be identical.
Okay.
But reciprocation should definitely be a love language. And I think what happens is most things in dating, you know what I'm saying, especially during the beginning phases, are men putting forward time, energy, and money with the understanding that we may not get any of this in reciprocation. And I think we are reaching a level in life where men are just getting tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a extreme lack of reciprocation.
So what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for something in return? Or are you doing it because you really care about the woman and you want to treat her and take her out and show her a good time? Like, what are you doing it for?
Men are doing it because they're trying to get some coochie.
Right. So just hear me out. Just hear me out.
I thought I was supposed to be on my final thought.
Let me just say this one thing. If you feel like as a man you're doing it to get coochie, right? You just said that out of your own mouth. You confessed that yourself.
Yeah, I said it.
You don't think that we know that? That's why we don't treat y'all. That's why we don't do things because we know what you want. So why am I going to give you the vagina and pay for your meal and buy you stuff? Like, no, we know that's what you want. So that's why we fall back the first couple of days and let you do it because we know the prize is us. We are the prize. So, yes, I'm not going to take...
That's a lie, sis.
How's that a lie?
Listen, let me tell you something.
You know you want the vagina.
Hold on. Right. We also talked about that there are more women on the planet than men.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, statistically speaking, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to cooperate with the program...
Cooperate?
I showed during your final thought. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to cooperate with the program, there is another woman that is willing. In the same way how you think you are giving me something by giving me your vagina, if I'm coming through serving you some good D, it's an even exchange.
But you approached me first because that's what you wanted. You just said the reason
and you accepted because you know, listen, the same way
men... you know what it is.
Hold on. The same way men know within seconds what they want to do with a woman, women know within seconds what they want to do with a man.
Wow.
You know what it is. The only difference is between the time you decide that you want to do it and the time that you let me do it, I might say something or do something to fuck it up. But you already know whether you want to give it to me or not.
Wow.
As a woman, they already know.
Wow.
Y'all already know. Now, like I said, between the time you decide you want to do it and that you're gonna do it and the time that it actually happens, I could clearly say something or do something to blow it to smithereens. But when you see a dude and he interacts with you and he approaches you and he gets your number, you are already making an assessment on whether you want to give him some or not.
It depends on how he play his cards after that.
Yeah, but you already know whether you want to do it or
Women
not.
know that that's what you want.
I mean, but the
why.
problem is whether it's a good guy or a F boy, right? Both dudes want the coochie. Like it's not they one wants it and one doesn't. All men, that's what we
I get
want.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
And guess what? You're gonna keep on taking us out, or you're gonna keep on doing what y'all doing to get it. That's it. That's just it.
Or
Go find somebody else.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Find somebody who's with the program, and then you'll be alone.
No, you won't. But that's your final thought. Go ahead, finish your final
No,
thought.
you fucked up my final thought. You was on. Hold on. I didn't say a damn word when you was doing your.
final thought.
I didn't say nothing when you was doing your final.
I
thought.
didn't say nothing either.
Wow, you just really sat here on this camera a
Go ahead,
lot.
finish your final thought, my friend.
I think we running out of time.
All right. Well.
Oh wow, that's that bull. See,
Thanks for watching.
double standard, more double standards. Like she talked through my shit. I show her
We
respect.
was having a conversation.
I
It was
show her
mutual.
respect.
It was mutual. It was consensual.
I didn't give you consent.
You did. It was
No, I didn't.
consensual. Verbal.
You didn't ask. I didn't give you no.
You did.
I did not. I'm telling you. See, see how you not listening. I'm telling you, I didn't authorize consent for you to talk during my final thought.
Okay.
But
Go
you
ahead,
still
wrap it
wanted.
up.
You know what I'm saying?
Uptown.
You still talking? Oh, thank you. I appreciate the size. I think that double standards are necessary. Some of them are definitely necessary. Some of them are useful. But at the end of the day, you got to figure out which ones you want to apply, which ones do it on a case by case scenario, right? Because some of them definitely need to be thrown away, and some, you know what I'm saying? Some of them we need to keep. You know what I'm saying? Figure out which ones work for you, and play responsibly. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can tell you. You know what I'm saying?
I can talk now. I'm nervous.
Anime
Can I talk now?
and
I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike.
thank you. Sing the song the way I told you.
Okay, now you doing.
Sing. Oh, now I'm doing too much. You want to keep going with this? I can see the thing. Listen, we can do it.
Thank y'all
Sing
for
the song the way I
watching.
told you, Ann.
Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate the love. Shout out to Luke the Skywalker, Harlem Skywalker, Dre Smashington. Love you guys.
Shout out to Jordan. Thank you for joining us
Jordan.
tonight. Shout out to the
having
First
me.
Lady Ramona. I am Uptown Brown. And remember to like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff.
Check out the
Tell a
other
friend to tell a friend.
episodes.
Check out the other seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Instagram.
YouTube channel. All that good stuff.
All
And
right.
remember, you can have a great day and a better tomorrow.
No, have a good day and a better tomorrow. Have a good one.